and seen on video.
Yeah, I watched it about a dozen times or so last night and again this morning. I'm just not comfortable with Patrick's behavior around the ball.
Patrick Reed's journey in golf is unlike almost anything the sport has seen. He rose from a gifted junior player to a Masters champion, a Ryder Cup icon, and a global headline magnet. Yet somewhere along the way, he became one of the most debated figures in modern golf. His story isn't shaped by one incident or one rumor. It's shaped by a long chain of moments, some personal, some professional, some caught on camera, that built a reputation as complex as his talent. Fans don't just watch him play, they watch him closely. Some admire his grit. Others react every time something goes wrong for him. How does a player with a green jacket, huge victories, and world-class skill end up becoming someone the crowds don't always cheer for? To understand that, you have to go back to the beginning, long before the spotlight, long before the noise. Patrick Nathaniel Reed was born on August 5, 1990, in San Antonio, Texas, but he grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. His family supported his love for the game early, and his father, focused, firm, and determined, pushed him to sharpen his skills with intensity. Reed wasn't just a hobby player. He was driven, ambitious, and fueled by a hunger that made him stand out before he was even a teenager. Between 2005 and 2007, Reed dominated at University High School in Baton Rouge. He helped lead his team to state championships, earned the title of state medalist, and built a resume that made him one of the strongest young golfers in the country. Being named a Rolex AJGA All-American and winning the Junior Open Championship in 2006 cemented his reputation as a rising force. He didn't just win, he played with a sharpness that made people pay attention. That competitive edge carried into college, but that was the first place where Reed's story became complicated. He started at the University of Georgia, joining a powerhouse team with sky-high expectations. On paper, it was the perfect match, a top recruit joining an elite program. But within a year, Reed was dismissed from the team. The details were unclear then and remain debated now. According to reporting in Shane Ryan's book, some former teammates accused him of breaking team rules and creating tension. There were claims of questionable actions during qualifying rounds, but nothing ever moved beyond rumors, and nothing was officially proven. Reed has consistently denied the accusations, saying the issue was related only to violations of team alcohol rules, nothing more. No matter the truth, that early controversy stayed attached to his name. Once whispers begin in sports, they have a way of following athletes for years. And for Reed, this was only the beginning. After Georgia, Reed transferred to Augusta State University, a move that would transform his career. Instead of fading under pressure, he stepped into a leadership role and became the heart of a team that went on to win 2 national championships. His performance was electric. Every time people questioned him, he answered with results. His teammates respected him for his fire, and his opponents knew he was dangerous under pressure. Yet even as he succeeded on the course, the shadow from Georgia never fully disappeared. Fans, analysts, and players remembered the early rumors. And when Reed turned professional in 2011, a new set of challenges emerged, this time involving his personal life. In his early 20s, Reed made a deeply personal decision to distance himself from his parents and sister. When he married his wife, Justine, his family wasn't invited to the wedding. It surprised many people who had followed his career. The story became public, and curiosity turned into headlines. During the 2014 U.S. Open, the situation escalated. Reports said Patrick's parents and sister attended the event using a friend's tickets, but they were escorted off the grounds at the request of tournament officials after a reported complaint from Justine. It was an emotional moment that stirred conversations far beyond golf. The family hadn't done interviews, but the public could tell something serious had happened behind the scenes. Even at the biggest moment of Reed's career, winning the 2018 Masters, his family wasn't present. They weren't seen in the stands, and reports indicated they weren't even allowed inside the gates of Augusta National. These personal situations added layers to Reed's public image, creating a contrast between the athlete who shined under high-pressure situations and the personal story unfolding away from the course. While personal drama kept resurfacing, Reed's game continued to climb. He collected wins, cracked the top tiers of world golf rankings, and made a bold statement during an interview, saying he believed he was one of the top 5 players in the world. At the time, he was ranked 44th. Some viewers admired his confidence. Others thought it sounded arrogant. But Reed kept winning, and for a while, his game backed up his words. Then came the Ryder Cup, and everything changed. If Reed was intense during normal tournaments, he became something else entirely during team competitions. He represented Team USA 3 times, and his passion made him a standout figure. He celebrated fiercely, delivered clutch shots, and embraced the role of fiery competitor. Fans loved the energy. Broadcasters called him Captain America, and for a moment, Reed's image shifted from divisive to heroic. His most iconic moment came at Hazeltine in 2016 in a duel against Rory McIlroy, one of the most electric matches in Ryder Cup history. They traded long putts, stare-downs, fist pumps, and reactions that felt more like a boxing match than a golf round. Reed came out on top, sealing a moment that instantly became a part of Ryder Cup history. By 2018, Reed climbed to the peak of his career. He won the Masters, holding off names like Ricky Fowler and Jordan Spieth to claim the green jacket. It was his biggest triumph. For those few days, all the outside noise disappeared. Reed stood on the 18th green as the newest Masters champion, calm, proud, and fully in command of his destiny. But golf is a long story, and the calm never lasts forever. Later that same year at the Hero World Challenge, a new controversy erupted. Cameras filmed Reed touching the sand behind his ball twice, which many viewers interpreted as improving his lie. Reed defended himself immediately, saying the camera angle made the situation look different than it was. But the slow-motion replays led to debate that grew louder by the hour. He was assessed a 2-stroke penalty, but the bigger impact wasn't the score. It was what people believed they saw. Analyst Brandel Chambly publicly criticized the moment, calling it improper. Cameron Smith made comments suggesting he had no sympathy for anyone perceived to take advantage of a ruling situation. Social media exploded. Fans debated endlessly. And just like that, Reed's reputation took a new hit. This time, the moment was recorded, and the footage spread worldwide. Then came 2021 at the Farmers Insurance Open. Reed hit a shot into deep rough, claimed his ball was embedded, and took relief before a rules official arrived. A later replay showed the ball had bounced before coming to rest, a detail that typically means a ball wouldn't embed in the first place. Reed didn't break any official rule. The procedures were technically followed. But the appearance of the moment, the timing, the past controversies, the growing perception, became the real issue. Fans weren't looking at the one moment, they were connecting it to a history they remembered clearly. By now, every ruling involving Reed was amplified. Every close call became a headline. Then came one of the biggest turns of his career. In 2022, Reed joined LIV Golf, a decision that shook the entire golf world. LIV was new, bold, wealthy, and incredibly debated. Traditionalists saw it as a challenge to the sport's history. Supporters viewed it as the future. Reed, already a polarizing figure, became one of the faces of the league. And then, the lawsuits began. Reed filed a major defamation suit, claiming that certain broadcasters and analysts had made years of misleading and damaging comments about him. Some fans supported him. Others saw it as an attempt to challenge the media. Either way, the headlines kept coming. Reed's name became unavoidable, whether in sports sections, legal updates, or social media threads. By 2023, Reed had fully leaned into his new chapter. He competed in LIV events, appeared in select majors, and played with the same intensity he always had. But controversy never seemed far. At the Dubai Desert Classic, a moment went viral when he tossed a tee near Rory McIlroy on the practice range after Rory didn't respond to his greeting. Reporters asked about it. Reed said it was harmless. Rory stayed silent, and the moment spread across the internet within hours. Fans argued again, and Reed's name surged through headlines. Then came the incident with the palm trees during the same Dubai event. A shot disappearing into the branches, Reed identifying a specific tree where he believed his ball had landed, and videos later suggesting it might have ended up elsewhere. Officials approved the ruling, but fans had already made up their minds. It became another chapter in a long pattern of moments that shaped Reed's modern reputation. By 2024, Reed's story had become bigger than scores or trophies. It was about perception, debate, legacy, and the question that always followed him everywhere: was he misunderstood, or simply unfiltered and unapologetically himself? Harry stepped back into the hallway, sensing that familiar weight pressing on his shoulders, the same weight that had followed him for years. The message he received wasn't just messy, it hinted at old patterns, unfinished business, and shadows Meghan tried so hard to keep buried. He didn't respond, at least not immediately. Instead, he set his phone face down, pretending for a moment that silence could erase what had already been done. Meghan, meanwhile, busied herself in the kitchen, clattering dishes a bit louder than necessary, as if noise could drown out the quiet tension. She asked casually if he needed anything, but even her voice carried that clipped edge she used whenever control began slipping away. Harry murmured that he was fine, yet his gaze drifted back to the phone like a magnet. The message wasn't going anywhere, and he knew it. His mind kept circling the same question: why now? Why like this? And who else would eventually find out? Every time drama resurfaced, it chipped away at their fragile calm, reviving anxieties they both pretended not to feel. Meghan eventually walked past him, glancing at the untouched phone with thinly veiled curiosity. She didn't ask who the message was from. She never did that directly. Instead, she let the silence do the asking for her. Harry exhaled slowly, deciding he couldn't carry this conversation into the night. He picked up the phone, stepped outside into the evening air, and called the number. A shaky voice answered. It was the same friend who had sent the earlier message, someone who had quietly supported Harry long before fame and palace politics complicated his life. The moment he said hello, Harry could hear stress in her tone, urgent, raw, worried. She wasn't reaching out for attention. She genuinely needed help. She explained what had happened, the confrontation, the panic, the way everything spiraled. The story spilled out rapidly, punctuated by shaky breaths, until she admitted something she hadn't meant to confess, that she didn't reach out to Meghan because she felt Meghan didn't truly care. Harry froze. Those words hit him harder than expected. For years he had tried to defend his new life, defend his choices, defend Meghan. But hearing this from someone who had no motive to lie made something inside him twist.